Good morning to everyone. I welcome you all to the Need-Based Training Workshop. I am Aarti Sharma and hello ma'am. There are some known faces and there are some new faces. I extend my thanks to the DAV CAE for giving me this opportunity to interact with all my fellow beings. And I thank Dr. Nisha Patient, Director, DAV CAE, Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Jaya Bhardwaj, Cluster Head, Principal Hansraj Public School, under whose esteemed guidance this whole event has become possible. As we always do, friends, let us start on the auspicious note of the chanting of the Gayatri Mantra. Let us seek the blessings of the Almighty. बंद करो. Om. Hello ma'am, hello everyone. I welcome you once again. Harpreet ma'am, I can recognize you. There are some teachers, friends, it would be very nice if everybody could write their name in the chat box, because then it will be very easy to identify everybody. And during the session, friends, you will be receiving one link. It is for the feedback form. Kindly fill it up. Your suggestions will be valuable for me. And towards the end of the session, we will be taking up a few suggestions and queries so that we can interact. We all know that we are here to learn. It's a very, very new experience. Ma'am, if you find it convenient, so as to avoid any distraction or background noise, I request everyone if you could switch off the audio of your device, and so that we can be working without any distraction. Thank you so much. Now, if I have to describe the year 2020 with any kind of adjective, friends, I think there is no other word except novel. Does it come to your mind? Something comes to your mind with the word novel? Novel virus, and as teachers, I would say novel experience. An experience which is new, which is something that here we are going to learn. I mean, I couldn't have imagined 3 months back that I would be meeting all of you on a virtual platform. And for this, I once again extend my heartfelt gratitude to the DAV Managing Committee, Dr. Madam Nisha Patient, and also my cluster head, Madam Jaya Bhardwaj. Before we start, you all are aware of the basic idea of these workshops. It is the road to construction is always under maintenance. As English teachers, we understand this very well, that this experience we are going to get here today, it's for maintenance. It is here to reinvent ourselves, to learn something from each other, so that at the day end, we can take something from each other. I am in no position to train anyone. So I can see many teachers are much more senior to me, and I know many of you have many more years of experience. So I am here to learn from you and let us do it as a program of exchange. So, with your due permission, I start with my today's session, a room for learning. Now, it is a room we have to create, friends, where we all learn. Once a learner, always a learner. You know, a teacher is there to teach, but she is also there to learn. Like today, we are learning from here. So, creating a conducive learning environment. Under this topic, we will be discussing what exactly is a learning environment, what is the impact of the learning environment, what are the factors which are responsible, and of course, we will be dwelling on virtual classroom environment, which is today's reality. It is the online mode of teaching that we all have been following since the past 2 to 2.5 months. So, moving on, I request all participants to please turn off the audio mode. There is background noise, and it will be beneficial if we all keep the audio mode off. Thank you so much. Everyone, every teacher has tough classes. It is a part of the journey. The goal isn't to get the good class, the goal is to grow and cultivate one. So, friends, we all dream of a set of students. You know, they will just come, fall into our lap, and we'll be able to impart all the knowledge that we have. So, and it should be very convenient. But I know for sure we never get anything like this. Every time we get our set of students, there is always a challenge. So, here the role of the teacher becomes extremely important. She has to be encouraging. She has to motivate her children. She has to engage them. She has to constantly think of new things. She has to reinvent herself so that she can create an atmosphere where the children want to learn. And for us, friends, we are dealing with students who are in early teens or teenagers. Class 6 to 8, it's a very complicated kind of age where our students are a bit confused about themselves. They are trying to find their identity, they are trying to know themselves and to find their own purpose. So it is very important that the atmosphere in a classroom should be accommodating. The child should feel secure, and all the time, all the activities, everything we involve our children in, they should be robust. They should be alive. They should be engaging. They should encourage the children. You know, child should not feel, all of you who are teaching class 8, Swami always makes an excuse that he doesn't want to go to school. So our children should not feel like that. A learning environment, friends, is not just a classroom. It starts from the school bus, from the school gates. So everything, whether physical or non-physical, the way a teacher would welcome her children, the way the child will look at the corridors and everything plays an important role. We have to provide a space which is constructive. I was visiting a school where they had, you know, tables written on the staircases, where they had formulas written on the sides of the staircase. So that's a wonderful idea. An environment where the children are learning. You know, every time when learning should not be forced onto them, because learning goes beyond just absorption of subject matter. We have to remember that how many ever lesson plans we might make, whatever planning we might do, but at the end, there are situations where we have to be flexible. We might even have to change our plans. So a teacher should always be ready for that. Now, what is the impact of the learning environment? Now, once we have understood what is the learning environment, we have to understand its impact. We have to understand how does it affect us, what role does it play. So, what are the factors which are responsible? And how does it impact the learning of the student? First of all, yes, academics, the result of the child, because at the end of the year, students do sit up for an exam and the results are made. But along with that, we are building children for the future. We are building the nation. We are building the future. So we have to develop them morally. We have to help them build their character. And of course, their socio emotional characters are extremely important. They have to know how to interact with each other. Research has also indicated that a positive learning environment enhances a teacher's cognitive, emotional, and behavioral pattern. Very important. If you are happy teaching in that space, you will be able to deliver better. If you are in an environment which is cluttered, you may not enjoy. Now, how to create a conducive learning environment? What are the characteristics of effective learning? Playing and exploring, very important. How to engage our students. We have to know how to engage our students. We have to come up with lots and lots of activities. We have to engage them in activities which are academically challenged. Now, suppose out here, I give you an example that if I have to teach passive voice to my students, how can I do it? I can play small games. I can ask them to construct sentences. I can pick up a sentence from a part of their book or a storybook, ask them to differentiate between both the kinds of sentences, differentiate which are active, which are passive, and then move on to my exercise. Then motivation. Friends, it's very important for the children to know why they are doing something. So their goals and objectives should be very, very clear. They should know why they are learning, how is it going to benefit them. Thinking. As I mentioned earlier, we are building our future. So we have to have members, we have to have children who have analytical skills, creative thinking, critical thinking, and so on. Now, how do we manage our classroom? We have to decipher certain methods and routines, method of discipline, method of routine, and ownership, because our classroom is the space where they are going to be for maximum time of the school. So it has to be alive, it has to be a place where there are lots of charts, lots of, there should be vibrant, it should be well lit, it should be a place where everyone wishes to come, it should not be a dull area. And of course, children should be assigned duties. Children love to become monitors. Children love to get the duty of the lockers, or even to be assigned as the in charge, even as the teacher's pet spy. Okay, tell me how many students don't talk in English. You have to tell me the names. And the students are very happy doing all these. And also, how do we engage our students? We can engage them through projects, discussion methods, interactions, and team assignments. All interactions play a very, very important role in establishing the environment. Positivity. We continuously tell our children to maintain a positive attitude. Now, that is generated with the help of a positive atmosphere. An atmosphere where there is lots and lots of interaction. Interaction where the children feel that the errors will not be judged, where they can question, where their critical thinking, their thinking out of the box, everything will be welcomed, everything will be acknowledged. It is not necessary that every child is going to talk about a question which is very relevant. Though we have to train our children, but still we should not discourage any child, because sometimes, friends, when we are interacting with the children, when we discourage a question, we might make a child shy away from asking questions forever, and thus hampering the critical thinking skills of the child. We have to address their needs. As I mentioned earlier, pre-teens and teens, they are going through a period of change, a period of turmoil, a period of growth. They are always trying, they are in a sense of competition with each other. They want to look better, they want to perform better. So all these needs should be taken care of by the teacher. It's very important. A teacher should take care that she looks after the needs of the children. Those now children, sorry, friends, children have their needs which are not in isolation, just like we adults. Their needs are also together. There might be a child who, you may have observed some students in your class, you feel we term them as behavioral problem students. Actually, it is not the behavioral problem, there is something else. So for that, we have to engage our students. We have to engage them with a lot of activities. We have to keep providing them an opportunity to perform. Now, as we just mentioned, that how can we handle students which create trouble? We have to get to know our students. How do we get to know? We have to, in our diary, every time we have our personal information page, the first page where you have some information about the child. We have orientation programs, parent teacher meetings. All this is to exchange information about the student so that in case a teacher has something to suggest or a parent has a request, it can be taken care of. Now, besides parents, children themselves will provide a lot of information to us. You just need to interact with them. If you ask a child something, he may not feel comfortable speaking about it. But if you do it with the help of some kind of extracurricular activities, some kind of personality assessment forms, or some other inputs we ask the child, we may be getting a lot of information which can be extremely helpful. Our children, they will tell us a lot of things about themselves without even realizing. You can even do it with the help of stories. You can do it when, like, if I'm teaching Attila to them, and if I ask them, do they have pets? Many of them say no, because, and the reason is sometimes it's not allowed in the family. So you come to know a lot about the background of the child. Do not label them. When I got the list of needs, friends, there was a lot of mention about slow learners. I, disagree with this particular brand name, slow learner. I mean, are we in a race? Are we running a race? Who's coming first? Who's slow? Who's fast? Every child is learning at his or her own pace. I mean, honestly speaking, in the if I talk in the field of technology, I think we teachers are more of slow learners as compared to students. I'm sure you all will agree. For everything, we need their help. If we are at home, we need the help of our children. If we are in school, we need the help of the students. So let us not label them. Let us try to know them. Instead of judging them, let us be curious. Let us try to find out what is the reason why a child is behaving in such a way. Instead of spending all our energy on just trying to getting being angry or trying to give them tasks to punish or something like this, let us try to be gentle, let us try to be kind to them, and I'm sure, friends, we all will find some way out. Each student brings their particular brand of genius. Every student is unique. As we have just discussed, every student has their own qualities. Every student, you know uh, they have their own strengths, they have their own weaknesses. There might be some who are very good at writing a script, and there might be some who are very good at enacting it out. There might be another child who's very happy keeping everybody in lines, and there will be another one who's very happy uh, making lists and helping out the teacher. It all depends. You just have to identify the child. We have to engage the students in a lot of class building games and activities, friends, so that a positive relationship is developed. But we have to make sure there should be healthy competition, but still a lot of cooperative learning structures should be developed. We have to encourage them to feel happy when the other person is winning, if it's a quiz or a debate or even a simple game like treasure hunt. If I'm engaging my children, they should be ready to clap for each other. It should not, turn into any kind of animosity. We should not hold it against each other. Now, we have talked in length about what is a learning environment and how does it impact the learning. Now, if you can see these pictures on your screen, friends, you can see that we hold Havans. We are all in the DAV schools. We celebrate the Labor Day. We have hold the MUNs and exhibitions. All these activities, they provide the learning environment to the child. If I take the activity of conducting the Havan, their moral values, social relationships, when I'm talking about, celebrating set special days, they are developing social skills, they are learning the basic concept of mutual regard and respect. When I'm talking of the MUNs or debating championships, their speaking skills, their communication skills, voice modulation, everything is getting honed. And at the end of it, to put it all up for their exhibitions, it's a beautiful feeling for the children. Variety is the spice. You have to provide a variety of learning modules like inquiry based projects. You can, and the best, what I have experienced is peer to peer learning, where children, they are assigned the duty to help the others. They can be used sometimes for drill method and remedial method. And of course, the e learning, mobile learning, which is the reality of today. There are constant opportunities of practice. It's very important. We have to keep revisiting our work. We have to reflect upon all work we have done, and we have to keep mending our old errors. We have to change our ideas because you have to keep revisiting. And out here, it helps when we take feedback from the students. It is very important. They come up with excellent feedback. At the end of every semester, I make it a point to take feedback how a particular topic can be taught better to them. Questions or answers. An environment where questions are welcomed, and we do not encourage, we do not say that if a child is not able to answer, we do not label them. You have to encourage curiosity among the students. We have to ensure that they are asking us the why, all the WH. Why does it happen? How did it happen? What else can it be done to make it happen? All these things should be taken up with due regard of teaching. Very, very important. Being human. How human are we? Of course, we are human. We get tired, we get angry at times. Sometimes, though how much ever we are taught, we take the oath of not disturbing anyone, but still sometimes our background behavior reflects in the classroom. So we have to make sure that we do not trouble the children just because we are upset on a particular day. Maybe we can tell them that, students, today I am feeling a bit unwell. Why don't you take up a worksheet and do this topic instead of just losing our patience? And remember to celebrate both success and failure. We must admit to our mistakes, and believe me, we should be ready to say sorry, and we should be ready to become better, to learn from them. Learn from the students. Very important, friends. We have to be able to learn from them. We have to make them also feel that their views, their ideas are welcome and they are respected. And we must be well organized before the class. When we are in a class, it should not be that we are leaving a class off and on. We should move in with our books, with the aids which are required. In case something is required on the smart board, it should be already there. Mentioning the smart board, today's reality, e-classroom, virtual learning platform, online learning. Now, all these things are very important to be kept in mind, because today the classroom we have is the one where we are teaching them online. So VLE, the virtual learning environment, it should be equally taken care of. Friends, just give me a moment. Let me just share the feedback form with you in the meanwhile. In the meanwhile, you can just continue to read. So, what is a virtual learning environment? An environment where we can, you know, we teach according to the time which is available. But yes, we don't have to travel to any place. We don't have to move from our homes. Of course, we all have been dreaming of it. Now, for teachers, how is it beneficial? That you can work remotely and you can set your task in advance also. Like these days, when we were uploading our work on Google Classroom, to avoid the rush hour, we were posting our work a bit advance of the class, ahead of the class. Friends, please let me know if you have received the link. You can put yourself, you can unmute yourself, and you can just let me know if everybody has received the link. If and in case it should be blue in color, ma'am. In case it is not blue in color, that means you will have to uh, take the help of the browser, and then it will become a link. You have to put it on the browser. I hope everyone is comfortable, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Shall we continue?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there any suggestion till now, ma'am? I hope I'm audible to everyone, and I hope I'm able to reach out to every one of you. Any suggestions, anybody, ma'am? Okay, so I take it as a compliment. I move on. Now, how do we teach in the e-classroom? What are the requirements? Etiquettes, very important. When we are shifting to the online environment, we have to teach children how to move around in a virtual classroom. And as a teacher also, we have to prepare ourselves. We have to learn. Like if I take the example of the classroom which we are in these days, we have been trained continuously by our IT team, and we have been encouraged by our seniors constantly. What is very important, friends, which I will mention here, that we must educate our students about online safety. Virtual safety is very important. Things like cyberbullying, or they should not fall trap to any kind of cyber crime, because they are vulnerable and they can get carried away very easily. Now, what are the things which are required when we talk of online classroom etiquette? No acronyms. Acronyms, as you can see, short forms, LOL, TTYL, all these. We must tell the children that some children, others may not be so familiar. So let us not use them, and let us use the full form of all the words. Brevity. Now, what is brevity? That means that whatever the students they are asking, they are expressing, it should be short, and they should note their opinions and answers by using the indicators which are found in most of the virtual classrooms. We have to keep training them, and of course, I say we have to keep learning from them. Courtesy. Friends, are you holding online classes in your school? Yes, ma'am. Can I have an answer? Are you holding online classes in your schools?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. You can call me Aarti. You need not call me ma'am. We are all colleagues. Thank you so much. Now, friends, you must have noticed that these are the problems you have faced. You know, children are sitting sometimes in their night suit. They are not using their real names. They are not wishing each other or even the teacher, and they are, you know, scribbling on the screen. They are not. Let us say, at times you even have parents who have just entered the room. Does it happen with you? Yes, ma'am. Does it
Yes,
happen anywhere?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So, courtesy is a very, very important thing we have to teach the children. They have to be taught how to raise hands, they have to be trained how to organize themselves and present themselves. It's no use getting angry with them. We have to constantly train them. Now, ditching of distractions, just like I requested every one of you to put back the, you know, put yourself on mute, and all of you have put off the video also. Now, how does it help? Of course, we do not encourage video off when we are taking a class, but we always say there should be no noise because that causes distraction. And at times they have had cases, you know, you get to read them in the newspapers where students are multitasking. They are sending messages to each other. Sometimes those messages are also about the let us say the teacher herself who is teaching. So all that should be not, you know, we can't say you can't allow that, but we have to train the children not to follow all of it. Early bird catches the worm. We have to be on time. Friends, I'm sure all of you had prepared yourself to be in this virtual room at least 2 to 3 minutes in advance. Is it true?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all of us, we had, you know, we wanted that we should be able to attend. Even I have been attending a few webinars, and I also, at times when I knew that there would be a large number of delegates, I had logged in at least half an hour before time. And that is the only way I could get into that room. So when we share our links with the students, we must tell them to be on time. Focus. We have to focus on our work. We have to encourage students to focus. Conversations and activities which are taking place online, we must encourage the children to participate in them. We must encourage them to take notes, to ask relevant. Now, out here, you know, you might say earlier I had said that welcome all questions, and now only relevant questions because time is limited. And of course, no joining of sideline chats. So with this, I come to the end of my presentation today. And friends, let me see if there are any suggestions from you. We can interact since we are a short, very small number together. Yes, ma'am. We meet again. Any member? Yes, ma'am. You can put on your cameras and videos. Uh, ma'am, anyone who has any suggestions? Thank you. I can see some compliments. I can see some positive response, but I would appreciate if we have some suggestions. I also want to take away something from here because, ma'am, we have to be a bit quick. We will be running out of time otherwise, and then it won't be nice if we just zoom out the session just like that. Harpreet ma'am, Harpreet ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
anything, any suggestions you feel how we can make the learning environment better?
I think, ma'am, you have discussed all the points and it will be very helpful to us. And the very thing that we have to be motivate student,
Yes, yes,
our positivity.
yes. So,
That is the one thing. We have to be positive and we have to inculcate positivity in our students. I like it
absolutely.
very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Nirupama ma'am. Nirupama ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
any
Yes, ma'am.
any suggestions from your side, ma'am, how we can improve ourselves? Any point you feel we may have missed out and we can have a quick discussion or a mention of it?
No, ma'am. It was a very nice session. You have taken all the points very nicely and very informatively.
Thank you
I'm
so
very
much,
happy
ma'am.
with that I have got so much knowledge with this also. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for sharing this.
Thank you. Neha Sharma ma'am. Is there anything I can get from you? Any suggestions? Ma'am, but before we, Neha ma'am, I think you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. Ma'am, there is something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Neha ma'am. Anything from
Ma'am,
your
the session is very much interactive and very much, helpful to us also.
Okay.
I don't think you have left any point, ma'am.
So nice of you, ma'am. So nice of you. Ma'am, I hope everybody has
Good morning,
filled. Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am, this is Shalja from DAV.
Hello, Shalja, ma'am.
I just had one query actually, not
Yes,
a
ma'am.
suggestion based.
No, it's
Ma'am,
perfectly.
while we are taking the Zoom classes, it happens with me often that
Yes.
the parents sit child and one the earphone plug, one is in the
Yes,
parents' ear
yes.
and one in the child.
Yes, that is the
At
third
that time
point.
we
Yes.
become a little conscious, yeah.
Yes, we do become, but ma'am, as teachers, we have to constantly remind the students to practice courtesy. And very politely, we can just request parents, like recently we've been holding exams and we
Yes,
were, so online exams, if in case we saw someone, it was not nice to call out. So we just requested them politely. Ma'am, I hope everybody has filled up the feedback form. Ma'am?
Yes,
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, I just wanted to ask for the
yes.
same.
Yes, ma'am.
May I know what we have to fill in the choose number? The second icon is choose. The numbers are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, something. So what is to be done in that?
Ma'am, if I think it must be a Dropbox, you can just open it and see, with the number, I think it must be the category or the classification, whatever, however you want to categorize the session. You can just see it.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I'm trying to open it, but it is not opening. Is there any problem?
Okay, ma'am, I'm sending it. I'll send it once again, ma'am. Don't worry. I'll just
Okay,
send.
ma'am.
I'll just send. I'm sending it to everyone in case somebody did not get it. And before we suddenly zoom out, we are going to meet again. I'm looking forward at 4:30 with the next session, multiple intelligence. So I hope, friends, all of you enjoyed yourself, and please feel free to have any suggestions, any queries. I am here to learn from you. I'm here so that we all can exchange information, we can grow together. I am really enjoying this experience. I hope every one of you too is enjoying yourself. Yes, ma'am. Under choose.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you received the work? This thing again? Has it opened?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
Actually, ma'am,
you can fill it up and you can please share it. Please make sure to write your name and the name of the school so that your attendance is marked, ma'am. It's very important. Shall we take leave, ma'am? Is there
Just a second,
yes, ma'am.
ma'am. Sorry
Yes.
to stop
No,
you once
no
again.
problem. No problem.
But the session number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the session number means ki we have to grade accordingly, or
No,
is
no.
it something
Then this will be session 1. This will be session 1. This is your session 1 which you are taking with me.
fine, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
And in the topic, it is the name we had conducted with
The
the topic
name of
today,
the
na?
topic is A Room for Learning, Creating a Conducive
Yes.
Learning Environment.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
And
much.
ma'am, can we?
Yes, ma'am.
It is the we don't have an icon for writing the name also, na? There is only email address is given.
Okay, you can share your email address then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Oh,
Ma'am?
yes, ma'am.
the problem is that the link is opening, but I'm unable to write anything on it.
Unable
Like I'm
to.
unable to fill the details, ma'am.
Ma'am, or you can just leave your phone number with me, just quickly. My phone number is 998319636.
98888
9 9888
Okay.
319636. 36. Okay, I'm sending it to everyone. You can just, in case anything left, we can just quickly, you can share it here. Okay, ma'am?